Welcome onto the table. It's been a while since we've done one of these. This is a post-game talk show where basically players from the current ongoing TTRPG, tabletop role-playing game, sit around in an open table discussion where we can talk about all things behind the scenes, Q&A, stuff we want to clarify, talk about whatever the case may be. The current campaign that we are discussing is King's Crossing. It is back, baby. We've had 2 full episodes, technically 2.5 episodes. Fred and Pickles group got an extra like half an episode in there. Basically the reasoning behind that was we started the first episode and then I got called out for work like an hour into it. So we had a makeup episode in there. But Fred, I'm so sorry to have to ask. Can you go back to push to talk? Thank you, brother. Okay, so we're going to be discussing King's Crossing, and the way this works is we have 2 different groups going through. We have Fred, Pickles, and Shifty, who isn't able to be here. He's currently making bread. They play on Sundays, live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Adise and Tough Nuts also not able to be here because Tough Nuts. They play on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So we have 2 different groups going through it. These guys are from different groups. However, during this time, we all can kind of get together, share information, if they picked up information. Which, I actually think we've had some breakthroughs, some things to talk about. In the last 2 episodes, there is points where either players were learning things that might be useful, or they were discovering things that other players have done that might be useful. So, does anyone have anything they want to start? Preferably, starting from, like, if you have, like, 3 points about your episode, start from the one that happened first, like, beginning of your episode, if you have anything. If not, I have things.
Yeah, so I had a question for Torvekic.
Okay.
So in my preliminary scene, I saw Torvekic like going back down to town with Dibs, and I was wondering what you were doing with them.
Was it with Dibs?
This was in the day between. Remember, 2 days had passed. In the day between, Adarag found himself strolling about town, and he was strolling through town. He passed a dwarf, and he kind of stopped, and he looked back at the dwarf and saw the dwarf crawling through the grass, and then a little lizard crawling along next to him.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't see Torvekic. That was
Shifty, wasn't it?
That was Wilford. Did I tell you it was Torvekic? I did.
You told me it was a dwarf, yeah.
That's a DM fuck up. There you go. So that's a DM fuck up. I will own that.
That's
one.
allowed under the table.
Yep, I'll admit it. Yes, I fucked up because now that I'm thinking about it, let's retro act.
I was about to say I don't remember that.
You're like I did. I know I saw your face and I was like, why does he not remember it? And I was like, wait, maybe that wasn't him. Let's retcon that. Adarag, you passed an elf, not a dwarf, and you looked back and saw the elf crawling through the bushes, and that elf is not here. But maybe another player wants to speak to that if they remember things.
I mean, I remember the scene.
Okay, do you want to talk about it?
It's just that Grunkle wouldn't know that information, I guess, since it hasn't been shared. But yeah, so Shifty was spying on Grunkle getting training, which was really just Grunkle being bullied by one of the mercenaries. I learned from the bullying, but it was still bullying. And Shifty decided to spy on me, and then Dibs sidled up next to him and asked him a few questions, I think. I'm spacing on the questions that he was asking, but I believe the overall mood and theme of the exchange was, why are you here? I don't like you. Go away. And Dib was like, okay. And then he went reverse shimmy back into the bushes.
I do remember that Shifty did threaten to feed.
I was going to say, Adarag, did you see anything different?
Let's see, what did I see? So I saw him like scuttle up there. They had some heated words, and then Dibs like scuttled backwards.
There was something else.
Yep, the scuttle.
There was something else.
A specific elf grabbed a specific lizard by the mouth, shoved him into the dirt.
Oh, that's right.
Said words, and at that point, the lizard scuttled back.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Forgot that last bit.
Yeah. See? You never know who might be watching.
Well, Shifty doesn't know that though, so it's just us knowing that he was being watched.
He's been seen threatening Dibs. Hello, chat. Welcome in. If you guys have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns about the game, feel free to speak up as well. We can address it to the players here. Yeah, that did happen. Anyone else have anything? Curious thoughts?
Not about that specifically.
No, not about that, but anything.
I wanted to push in the direction of the discovery Torvekic made about what the other players have been up to. That doesn't really involve me, but I thought I'd push that question out there.
It's a big one.
I see you guys duke it out.
Fred brought that up earlier. He goes, you guys are on my shit list.
Yeah, the little ones are now on Torvekic's shit list. So, yeah, he's not happy because he was planning on having the mining tool, and he didn't have it, so he had to go ask the salt miners if they would help, and they told him to go fuck himself.
Yep, they did.
For reasons of your own making.
For quartermaster reasons.
They never gave him a reason, but...
you made fun of the boss. You laughed at him to his face.
He didn't give that as a reason.
Yeah, he was like, aren't you the one who made fun of me at the log?
Yes, but he never clarified that as a reason he wouldn't help. He just said, I don't want to help the town.
I assumed that the main reason was he'll lose his job if he's just giving away assets.
I will say it's exactly the opposite. You rolled terribly on convincing him, but he was still willing to give you gear because you pulled at a certain driving factor behind that NPC. You said something that resonated with his character that he was like, even though you rolled terribly, I still gave you the partial win.
I don't know what that is, so whatever.
You don't know about the character. You guys haven't investigated him too much, so you don't, but I'll give you that.
This is actually the first time I knew there was a salt mine, so...
It's on the map.
I can't see the map very well.
Yeah, I couldn't find where the...
to the right, it just says Miners Barracks is to the right, but...
is that a map of the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put up a map of the town before maybe it's in private chat to me?
Yeah,
no, it's in the group chat.
Is it?
Okay, somebody needs to pin that.
I need to one, make a better one, which I will do, and two, post that for you guys. But yes, there is two things that this town is known for. It's the shellfish economy and the salt mine. They're two big outports. There used to be more, but swamp. But yes, I actually posted this quote in the Discord. In the King's Crossing Discord, where Torvekic was like, okay, it's time to get the town's defenses going. I'm going to need to get some holes dug, get the stuff going. And I was like, well, you guys do know that I think it was Alexios pointed out, they've set up a makeshift workshop outside. So they went outside of Hobbs Lodge, go over to the workshop. Torvekic approached, and I was like, well, you see all the resources you brought back are put together. But they don't make the drill that you agreed upon. They make a pulley system. And Torvik just goes, fuckers. Because if you remember Adarag, I asked you guys, are you building the drill? And he goes, nope.
Well, Gnimwirt said no.
So the first thing he said was that, and then there was a long, long rant, mostly filled with curses upon your entire families. Because now he has to dig all of those holes individually by himself.
Are they back in town yet?
Yeah,
we were.
Well, no.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We
like since we saw Griff, have they been back in town?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys are actually running around town, kind of in the same. But when they went to Hobbs Lodge, you guys went to Elder's Manor, which I can say because they checked in on you as well.
Mm-hmm.
They know. Actually, you guys heard about things that they were doing. You have any questions about that?
I was trying to figure out what you guys were doing because, believe it or not, our group apparently has a list a mile long of problems with this town.
We have 5 points. And some people debate that there's a 6th point, but there is no 6th point.
That was a big part of their episode. Was okay. Which
Because
of
the
these
6 point is you
plethora of
guys.
things do we want to take on?
Because that was
do you
the
guys
big
remember?
argument.
Do you guys remember the rumors that were going around about their group, Adarag and Gnimwirt?
That they were breaking into the elder's house to cause hoodlum.
And one
Stomping
of
in
them,
feces.
One of them was completely covered in shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I guess I assumed that they stomped and then slipped.
Yeah.
Nope,
So-
it was
So
the
your
swarm
group has
guys.
also been spotted.
So the list of things is like the town's sick. There is monsters out in the forest that may or may not include an elder god.
I'm trying to figure out where this. Oh, is that Dibs still? Who's the
No,
other
no, no.
guy?
The giant glowing thing that was out there with the children of the forest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
They don't know about that.
Swamp dragon.
Adarag's like, what?
What?
Swamp dragon,
What?
ogre with a sword.
Troll.
Is it a- okay, troll with a
Because
sword.
I'm an ogre. And
With a sword.
ogres are.
With
yeah.
a sword. Fishermen having
Apparently,
issues.
Grunkle's one of the problems.
No, I'm.
That's debatable.
I'm like one of the solutions. I felt that Grunkle was trying to be a good leader in the last session, the longer one. Keep people on track a little bit and going back to check clues, but it's jumping ahead a little bit.
Yes.
So it's that was the main issue through the whole last episode we had.
Hi, guy.
That was my dad.
Hi, Dad.
Seems cool.
The main issue through that whole thing was just figuring out what the hell we were doing. We still don't really know what the hell we're doing.
I disagree. Grunkle knows exactly what we're doing.
I think at this point we're mostly going to try and cure the sickness. Mostly.
So what's interesting is before we get to what you guys are doing exactly, let's handle you guys first. You guys heard a bunch of rumors from Alexios, who's been hanging around the tavern. Basically, you guys said, Alexios, what have you been doing? He's like, well, the other group's just literally been telling me to go on adventures and then just been shopping. And then your group tells me you're going on adventures and then you just sit at the bar drinking. So I've left both of you and I've been hanging out at the bar collecting stories from townsfolk. So he's been collecting rumors and stuff. So you guys were able to kind of use him as a rumor mill? Yeah. And hear about some of the goings on around town. That's where you heard for the second time about a troll that's been spotted in the area, which he said is probably just a mythical creature, not real. People use it to scare their children, but apparently there's rumors of one being spotted in the area. And the other group that you heard it from was the Lost Sons, originally at the crossroads. They told Grunkle about it.
Yeah.
He talked about people are getting sick. There's a sickness going on in the town. And I think the other thing he talked about was some people arguing at the beach.
About a monster. He peppered in that clue that was sort of weird because I was grilling him about the sickness, and he mentioned that the fishermen might know something about it because they're talking about a sea monster, and it was like, Detective Grunkle is not so sure about this, but he'll write it down anyways. But the thing for me was that was an immediate lead, and with a lot of these things, it's like these are a lot of cold leads, and that was the one you gave us that was sort of hot, so that's why I jumped on that. But I think in the case of a good sandbox game, if you're being presented multiple options, there might be some situations where it's an opportunity cost, but I think in good writing that's used sparingly. Like, if you don't save this person, then this person dies, but you save the first person. I feel like that's a sparingly used thing, but here it could be everything connected, or maybe it's not connected, and we're just doing the stories that Rath's written here. And I guess my point being that sometimes it's better to pick a direction, and I did feel that our group was thinking a lot about like, oh, we have all these different ways to go. Which way? It's like let's just charge into one and hope that it does something.
I know. Throughout your guys' episode, I was sitting here going, I have like multiple different quests or whatever, and I keep having to jump between them because I was like, I don't know which one you guys are going after. You keep changing.
That's okay. Yeah, that of the two thoughts I had is it may as well just jump into one of them.
I was just,
and I mean that was sort of the fun part.
I gotta label the episode.
There's so many options.
I gotta name it, but I can't name it if you guys keep going to every single quest. I'm like, what one do I name this? So you guys ended up heading to the beach, which means you met two characters that Adarag is friends with.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys
Frankie
think?
and Hopkins.
Yes, Frankie and Hopkins.
Yeah.
What did you guys
Frankie
think?
was easier to remember.
What
He
did you
speaks
think
English. Well, we approached Hopkins first. And by we, I mean this was myself and Shifty playing Wilfer the wizard. We actually had a really great moment. That was one of my favorite parts of the session. I think maybe was when we both agreed to do good cop, essentially. But we worked our way backwards. Like Grunkle, you'll be bad cop, and Grunkle's like, well, I'll eat somebody. And
I thought this was a hilarious moment because you guys took time to figure out exactly how you wanted to approach this guy, and you're like discussing, and then you guys approach Hopkins. And how did that go?
He's illiterate when speaking. Like the dude just like I was kind of picking up sort of a general idea, but I was and like I think in your mind you had it sort of like probably how they do Kenny for South Park, like the muffled noises kind of does translate to something once you get how they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't feel like I fully had the code there, so I was picking up.
Because there was a point where like
and
Adarag, I think, started picking up some of what he was saying. He looked at Adarag and like said something else, like "Holy shit!" And then Adarag completely bombed it, and he was like, "No."
I think Wilfer was
Adarag is
starting to
actively
get that
trying
too.
to like learn this language.
Wilfer thought he was getting it. That's true.
Okay, was I the correct one then? Because I was picking up an entirely opposite message.
I think you guys were like, "Oh, they're mortal enemies," but really they're like best friends.
They're having a fight, is what he said.
Yeah.
And I was like, what I picked up was, oh hey, he knows more than I do about this. Why don't you have a good talking with him, my friend? Comma.
From what you got from Frankie, they have differing opinions, so it's warranted that maybe he was telling you his side.
Yeah. Well, Frankie, I like him a lot. He was a lot more understandable. And it's easy to get behind kind of a goofball character that's like inoffensive, just helpful. Oh yeah, here I am doing my thing.
That's exactly him. Oh hey guys.
Oh hey
guys.
What can I do to help? I'll take you on my boat. Oh, you need to go later? Well, that's when I have a date with my wife. Okay, well I'll cancel it.
You're like, are you
I'll
just
take
gonna
you for a boat
be? Their group's talking to Frank, and they're like, "Are you just gonna be here forever?" And he goes, "Well, I mean, like I have to go home."
The wizard has emotional issues with time frames, I
and
guess.
And then they're like, "Okay, bye." He's like, "Okay, bye. We'll be back." Okay, bye. Oh, okay, we'll be back. Oh, okay.
The wizard, and not Grunkle entirely, had some abandonment issues immediately with Frankie.
That was funny. So yeah, you guys.
But he was a good asset.
Mm-hmm.
Like we wanted to make sure that we would have that boat ride later to handle a sea monster. Oh, sorry, a sea monster of purity. Like the dragon from Spirited Away, the river dragon.
Iru.
Oh.
So
Someday, Brad, you and I.
I was just curious if that sparked anything for Adarag when you say words. Doesn't seem like it.
Oh, wait, what did I? Which words did I
said
say?
words.
I was just curious. You said things, and I was just curious if it made any clicks for.
Oh
Adarag
yeah,
or not.
did you hear anything about a purification fish, eel, or sea monster?
Well, there was one that kind of saved my ass.
What?
This also was never relayed or translated or investigated at all.
You should tell Grunkle about this because he would love
this
to pull out
happened,
his
and they were just
invisible
like,
notebook.
"Cool," and then immediately moved on.
You were saved?
Yeah, so we had to go and get some. It was some sort of plant from the bottom of the
Basically along the
reef there. Yeah, and we had to go grab this plant, and Adarag did a great job getting down to it and picking it, but struggled getting back up. And then so Gnimwirt had to jump in and try to save him. We both started drowning. And then a fish person, as it was described to us, pulled us back
Like a mermaid?
ashore. More
More like
I
a
think it was-
triton?
I think it was described more to us like the creature from the Black Lagoon sort of thing,
Is this correct?
like a fish
Is that
person.
how you described it?
He said fish person, so
Okay, so we fill in the blanks, I guess.
fill in the
with
blanks on that.
He was groggy, suffocating, coughing
I
up
was-
water.
Yeah, just getting my oxygen back in my system. Yeah.
Water. You were like not mud. You're in the ritzy part of the swamp.
Well, no, we were in the ocean.
Oh yeah, the ocean.
That's a confusing thing for Grunkle that I stumbled
Became a
into.
whole thing. Grunkle thinks
I
it's a
like-
lake called
I like
Ocean.
Sean though.
So dumb.
But
Well, I like the idea that Grunkle's intelligence is like a 39. I think it's one of his lowest stats, but everything's pretty close to that, so it doesn't really matter anyways. But I mean, I like to think he has some education on like bodies of water, but he somehow missed out about oceans since he mostly
It's
was
a lake
focused
called
on
Ocean.
small
It
things.
has a name. Okay.
There's lakes, there's rivers, there's tributaries.
He
I don't
knows
know what Ocean is.
tributaries, but not oceans.
Yeah, exactly. Like he
Um,
knows the rivers of an inland area. He's not a port ogre.
But
So-
yeah, so we were dragged back up on shore, and as we were like catching our breath, kind of our vision was sort of coming back to us. It kind of like lurked back off into the high like reeds or something like that.
Basically, no. If I remember right, it just dove right back into the ocean.
There are reeds in his depiction of your setting, though.
There's reeds in the ocean,
Yeah.
which would make sense in a swamp area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe connected, maybe not. You guys talked to the fisherman. You dealt with that. And then you guys decided to go do something else. Now, before we get into that, Adarag, what were you guys up to?
Well, so I'm going to say that, or you correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm going to say, I would say that Griff has probably had time to convey the message that we laid with him to the other party.
I haven't
No,
talked to Griff.
they didn't talk to Griff.
No, they didn't talk to Griff. Okay. Because I'm wondering how we would explain ourselves. You guys haven't talked to Griff.
What have you done?
Well, it would explain away a lot of the issues that Torvekic probably has with our party at the time.
Griff is sick.
moment.
Why would we go seeking out a sick man?
Because
he not?
he's still working at the tavern.
Or no, was he the one who said he dodged the sickness just barely?
No, but his
I don't like
bandages
that
need
look.
to be his bandages need to be treated. I don't. He wasn't queefing when we saw him.
They had
that makes me
no
feel-
reaction to that. None. They specifically asked me, okay, what are the symptoms? And I was like, I hate that this came up. And I rattle off the symptoms, and they did not react in the slightest.
I mean, I
Not
saw the
even-
clip.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you posted the clip. I saw it. And I was like, that's good. And so I asked for the symptoms.
Oh, that was
And
you.
then I decided Grunkle didn't understand some words.
Yeah, they didn't react at all. I was just like, oh, I can't believe this came up, and I rattle them off, and I was like, huh? Huh.
Oh.
Grunkle not understand.
I was just like, oh, what an anticlimactic moment. Like,
Wolves don't get sick.
I was like, they're, people are, fevers, sweat, sneezing, coughing, queefing. Oh,
Mhm.
nothing. Just dead room.
Oh,
I was like, wow, all right.
He's only got the
So,
flu, man. It's
Are they
fine.
getting sick from drinking anything or eating thing? Yeah, like I've
Yeah, you guys just move
I
right the
don't
fuck
know.
on.
So Liliana is sick. So she's not at the bar. So Gnimwirt and I had to help out with in the bar, like getting
We
things
did not notice that either.
set.
They did not notice that either. That's true.
They didn't notice the amazing fire that Gnimwirt built.
No, they didn't even look.
Oh
We were
my
too busy
gosh.
getting drunk with Alexios.
Yeah, well, by the time you guys built that, I think they had already left. I can't remember, but
Oh, okay. All right.
We
Well,
were
then,
walking in the rain.
Should we convey that
Right.
information, or would you like to save it for Griff?
To be honest with you, off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what it is. Is there something secret, or are you guys good to?
Well, no, I mean, it was a message to be passed on to them, so it's not like it's a secret or anything.
Share it, and actually, if I remember it, well, no, I'll share it with them next time they re-enter town.
Okay.
So, no, what I mean is, you can share it now, and we'll just
Okay,
the
yeah,
characters will hear it.
Sure. Yeah. So the reason why we ended up building a pulley system instead of a drill was when I was swan diving, I might add, into a pile of manure.
Oh,
I found a.
This is a real thing
little-
that happened.
and this is on a critical success.
yeah, elegantly grotesque. Yeah, I
We'll
feel
talk about this because this was
Yeah.
a whole thing too.
We found a buried trap door just outside of Eldar Lane's house, underneath of this manure pile.
Oh shit!
And so
Holy
we
shit!
so we decided that this area seemed, when I knocked on it, it seemed to reverberate like it's a door of some sort. So we then took the logical leap of saying, okay, there's something underneath this door, maybe a open room that's already been dug for us. So we switched gears to try to build a pulley system in order to drop something heavy or gain leverage on this door system, because when we were feeling around on it, it did not have any exterior locking mechanisms that would indicate some sort of like locked, like storm door or something like that. But it did have some sort of reinforced nature that is much higher grade than anything that we've seen in the town. So this is a very well reinforced, very well built, maybe possibly magical door that is in the ground up by Eldar Lane's place. And we figured, well, we would like to know why Eldar Lane. The reason why we were there was because we were trying to investigate to see why or where Eldar Lane might have vanished to after that last episode, because he just vanished in a puff of smoke, and we're trying to figure out like what happened to him, where did he go, and so finding this area, we were thinking, okay, let's open up this area. This could be possibly a lead us to some of the secrets or some of the background information of why Eldar Lane went and disappeared, possibly some of his motivations for doing so, and then also it seems to be a pre-built location that we could probably fortify, because it seems to have stronger defenses than your average abode in the town. So we could fortify it as like we were talking about, as like a shelter for the townsfolk if we were able to get into it.
So that's where that idea came from.
Gotcha.
Fun fact about that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Might mollify Torvekik a little bit, but he's still going to be pissed that he's got to dig all the holes for the palisade by himself.
Yeah, he is trying to build a wall, which we've talked about. I think everyone that this group went and talked to, they're like, "Oh, you're building defenses for the town. What are they?" Which I think Alexius was the first one who brought it up, who was like, "Yeah, remember when people were like, we could build like a big trench or a wall," and you guys are like, "Let's dig a hole." How's that going? And They're like, yeah, remember when you guys are like, oh yeah, we're gonna put up like traps and no, we're gonna dig a hole. And so when he went to the miners and he was like, yeah, I'm putting up defenses, and they're like, how you doing that? Well, you see, I'm gonna dig a hole. Like, what?
Well, I have to dig holes to put the wood in for
Right.
the wall, man.
And that's where it came from, and I was like, oh, so you're gonna. That's when they were like, oh, you're continuing the palisade around. Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Yes, can you help?
That's politics they support.
No, I can't help you because you insulted me the one time. What?
Well, no, he did. It was Wrath used the no but situation where you don't get men to help you, which was your request, but he was willing to let you take a tool.
Yes,
to like go
the
out
singular
and do that. I thought
pickaxe
that was.
You don't know if it's
But that was still something.
Talk to the quartermaster who handles the tools and supplies. He'll get you outfitted.
My point is, it's still going to be one dwarf. While very good at digging holes, it's going to take him a minute to make the holes that he needs to make the palisade by himself.
True. You're also dealing with half the town force is
Slow,
sick.
but it's still.
Half the town force is sick. The other half has jobs to do. And you insulted the dude that you're asking help from.
Yes, I insulted you one time, and you're going to not help me protect the town. That's definitely not petty at all.
Yeah. Maybe he has
Humans,
other ideas on how to
hold
protect
grudges.
the town, and he doesn't want to help you. He'll do it his own way. He's like, no, I can protect the town my way. Why would I help you after you openly mocked me in public?
I wasn't even aware he was in earshot, to be completely honest with you.
I feel like in this town, everybody's within earshot.
Let me just say,
we
you guys
keep spotting
noticed
people
them because you heard them, so how would they not hear you?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys, the reason you noticed them and like turned was because you heard them. So then if you start yelling at Grunkle, who's in the water over there, about them. Yeah. Fun note about them ransacking, trying to break into Elder Arlene's house was, I wasn't ready for that at all. I have like this Elder Arlene's, and they were like, here. And I was like, fuck. That was fun.
We found the end game.
Basically, yeah. And then the like immediate search found the door, and I was like, fuck. All right, I guess we're going to it. It was fun. I mean, I didn't stop you guys. You guys found it fair and square. You rolled and everything, and I was like, all right, like we're straight to endgame. But I mean, it was not really endgame, but it was funny. Like there's a whole quest to like get to that point, get a bunch of information, and they were like, got it. So I was impressed more. I was like, all right, interesting.
So that's why we switched gears, and if that would have later on in the episode, we relayed that information to Griff to try to pass on to you guys because we felt that being outsiders like us, you were some of the most trustworthy people. Because right now we're a little gun shy with who we need to trust in this town.
That was the whole thing. They're like whispering to Griff to be like, "Don't tell anyone," and he was like, "Don't tell anyone that you're trying to build them a shelter to protect them." And they're like, "Yeah, it's a secret." And he's like, "From who? What?" They're like, "We don't trust anyone."
We don't trust anyone except for those guys we just met 2 months ago.
Yeah, except those other guys. They seem alright.
Well, I mean, Grunkle and Torvekik are pretty trustworthy. We won Wilfer over. He doesn't distrust us anymore.
You're assuming Torvekik is trustworthy.
Are you not trustworthy?
Grunkle's like, oh no.
You've helped me out every time I've needed you to. You've never given me a reason to believe that you're going to stab me in the back. You haven't dibsed me?
Let me put it this way. Torvekik is a dwarf.
Wait a second. I gotta hold up for my man Dibs here.
Dibs never once did anything bad
Dibs
to you.
didn't do anything wrong.
Torvekik is a
because
dwarf.
I prevented him from doing a very wrong thing.
How do you know that's what he was going to do?
Yeah, okay, well, Torvekik and Grunkle would be hanging from branches. Well, Grunkle would be hanging from a log placed on a tree.
Innocent man in the assumption that he could be a criminal one day.
He was trespassing.
That'd be like,
nobody was welcome. He wasn't welcome in that tent.
I'm gonna shoot a geese because one day you could steal something from someone.
That's some Minority Report shit.
Grunkle!
And that's what Grunkle is. Grunkle has magic powers.
You're racist against kobolds.
No. Actually, I think Grunkle did say he doesn't like goblins either.
That's true.
Untrustworthy. But
Yep.
Grunkle was raised in a racist culture that's like an empire. It's genocidal. It's like, come on,
Bro.
cut him little.
Everyone who's not part of the empire is basically an enemy.
Okay, so my point before is Torvekik is a dwarf that is relatively close to his home. So, I mean, if something comes up that would be a threat to his home, who do you think he's going to side with?
I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
Oh.
Grunkle
would find a tunnel adventure where it's like, oh, my homeland's being attacked. Grunkle would be like, yeah, let's rip and tear. That's what Doomguy says, right?
But what if it was like, I don't know, the Legion comes and invades the dwarves finally?
That doesn't really change the answer.
Okay.
Would Grunkle really have a stake in that battle, or he just gonna be like, nah?
I think Grunkle has proven throughout many of my own personal choices and offerings to try and boost rolls that he's willing to give away everything to help his comrades. Every time it's like, I dive into the mud to try and grab Torvekik to bring him out. And if I have to lose something, I'm willing to do that. Like if I have to let go of my spear and use both my hands to just like bear hug and get him out, I will. So Grunkle is willing to lose his things for his friends. Torvekik, the first adventure, when Torvekik was drowning in mud and I pulled him out and he was like covered in mud, concession, I don't know. I dumped my barrel, my prized barrel of beer on him because I thought, racist, that a dwarf would be purified from having the mud on his face, especially better with beer. Ugh. I've grown since then, but I was willing to give up anything to save my comrade, who I'd essentially just met. Yeah,
Sure. That's what I was curious about. Like, what is your connection? Like, Grunkle seems so connected to these. I'd say mainly to Torvekik, but Wilfer's been up and coming here in the last episode as well. Is that just a natural trait of Grunkle's, to where he kind of attaches to people like that?
I think the big thing is that Grunkle has been exiled from the Legion, or he left the Legion. He's no longer with them, and any family or friends or any connection he has been erased. So he's out here as a failure, trying to become a better ogre, become a better Grunkle, and Torvekik is kind of his first friend. And then he saved Wilfer, so he hopes Wilfer behaves, but
What's funny is I see a lot, and this is probably not a safe thing to say, honestly, with Pickles in the room.
I just gotta turn my camera around.
Yeah, you're good. Is that I get a lot of the similar energy from Wilfer and Dibs. Just similar character energy. Which is interesting, because in the last episode, Wilfer shoved Dibs' face into the ground and told him to shut the fuck up and get away from him.
Yeah, I think you got maybe some wizard solidarity there. And then, well, I'm not saying Dibs is a wizard, but he's got a magical nature to him, and so sort of similar magical characters.
What's
funny,
funny,
I don't know
actually,
if he is or not, but I don't trust him.
Believe in Adarag and Gnimwirt's episode, they realized at one point that they need, like, I think Gnimwirt, and I wish he was here, Gnimwirt discovered that God, what was it? It was for Eldar Lane's front door. He could fashion a key. He figured out the mechanisms, figured out the mechanics behind it, was able to fashion a key. But to fashion a key, he needs a metal worker. Who do we know that works metal?
Dibs.
Maybe the dwarf.
That's
Maybe
racist.
the dwarf. That is racist. But Dibs carries...
Is it racist if it's true?
Dibs was noted as carrying a metallic
metal flower.
metal flower that he had made himself. And he's a metal worker. So the other group was like, and we need Dibs. And the other group got rid of him.
I'm sorry. And I did.
Which is even better because they're like,
and in public.
You said what? Sorry.
Like I do want to. I would love to have a moment where Grunkle can make amends for that.
What's funny is just as you were like, we got to be nice to Dibs, and then here's Shifty, get your face in the ground, bitch. Which is even better because they realize, Adarag and Gnimwirt realize, hey, we need Dibs, and flashback to Adarag walking down the street, seeing Wilfer shove Dibs' face into the ground. Like,
It's like,
I don't think he's gonna help us.
I mean, I'd love.
Yeah, I was too much in self wallowing for to like step up and do something about it too. Was the other thing. Yeah. So.
I just want to say, like, I feel Grunkle is like an echo of his culture in the sense that he never hurt Mateo for stealing his rock. Like, it was like, why? But he never, like, attacked Mateo or anything. And he never attacked Dibs. It was always, you're welcome in my barrel, please don't do this. And I like to think
Dibs never stole anything from you. Mateo did, and you praised him. And Dibs...
No, I hated him. I hated him until he got lost and he became a martyr. Then I just, for some reason, loved him. But, well, I didn't want him to die. That's the key thing, is that Grunkle doesn't want to kill anybody. He wants to help people. And so that's why he's a terrible berserker. But also because, he only uses threats as, like, that last-ditch effort of he's so frustrated that's when he starts to use what his other ogres would do, like be like, I'll rip you limb from limb if you don't obey me, kind of thing. And like Grunkle never hurt Dibs in any way, or never like shoved him into his mouth and pretend to like eat him.
No, it does make sense too. Like, you have that ogre nature. Like, it's good that you're role playing that. Like, I'm not penalizing your role play.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's funny, so I like talking about it.
Yeah, and so he's trying to like grow out of that, and I think that is the story of Grunkle, or the point of playing Grunkle.
So, let's get to... I'm not watching the game, so I'm mostly just lurking. No worries. If you guys want to watch for anyone watching, if you guys want to catch up on what we're talking about, the entire series is on YouTube. The most recent episodes will be posted this week.
Wait, what day?
Is it this week? It might be next week. It's just the February 4th is Adarag and Gnimwirt, and I think February 7th is your guys's.
Hell yeah.
So those are going out. Adarag and Gnimwirt, you guys ended off, or didn't end off. You actually started your episode at the Antiquarian.
Yes, we did.
Where you got your first hook for a quest and completely ignored it. And then at the end of the episode, you're like, maybe we should go do that hook for that quest. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, where Granny Evelyn is out of town. She's out of town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's out of town over trying to get... I think she was gathering herbs or something for trying to heal the sick.
Maybe. Do you remember what would happen?
Do I remember what would happen?
No, what happened? Basically, you guys were summoned. You guys were asked for?
Yeah, we were summoned out. So Valerie's let us know, hey, Granny Evelyn's looking for you. She's out by the stump. Or the stump. Yeah.
Granny Evelyn and
Addison?
No.
Or no, Addison went off to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, pardon me. It was Bjorn was down there.
Bjorn, that's it.
He shared something with you guys. Do you remember what it was?
Wait, Bjorn was there with us?
You saw Bjorn?
Mm-hmm. He shared a little something with you that was given to you. Tea?
Yeah.
Because someone taught Bjorn how to make tea. Okay, they're not connecting it. Shifty, Wilfer's character, helped Bjorn make tea and taught him how to make tea in their episode at Grunkle and Torvikic.
Oh yeah,
and so
that's what we did in like 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where I didn't, because
you didn't know that, but Bjorn was there at the beginning of your episode, and he shared tea with you guys. Remember, you guys were falling asleep, and he gave you guys tea.
Right.
Well, we said that, but then you, I think when Gnimwirt asked if Bjorn was still around,
he left at that
no.
point. He left, but as he was leaving, he said, "Hey, Granny Evelyn was looking for you." He's the one that told you that Granny Evelyn was looking for you. And then he left the antiquarian.
Okay.
Yeah, he shared tea with you guys, told you guys that Granny Evelyn was looking for you, and then he headed out while you guys were sitting down there doing your research.
Got it. Okay, because I had Valerice down as the one who told us that Granny Evelyn.
I believe it was Bjorn. It was supposed to be Bjorn. Maybe it was another DM fuck up. Well, for everyone else, watch the episode. Let us know. But yes,
yeah,
so
we need to go find Bjorn.
Yeah, I was curious about that because how did your Torvikic and Grunkle, how did your episode end? Because you guys got your hook from the fisherman to use the boat. And question, Adarag, do you remember anything about the fisherman's boat?
Well, that was where I found my duster that I'm currently wearing, and also my, a mysterious key, and a. There was something else there. There was like a parchment of some sort. Right?
Whose boat was it?
Oh, it was Atlas's boat.
Oh, interesting. Okay, let's just pause on that for a moment. Okay, so you, Torvikic and Grunkle, you guys are down with the fishermen, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to use our boat? We'll go out and get this sea beast." And you guys are like, "No, okay, bye." And you guys decided to do what instead?
We went bear hunting.
They went bear hunting, yeah. So, how'd that...
Well, can I expand on that really quickly? Because it's a logical thing. So what we were told, essentially, is that Hopkins thinks there's... Well, they both Hopkins and Frankie think there's a monster in the lake ocean. Lay ocean, if you prefer. And Hopkins wants to capture it, kill it, chop it up into pieces, and like use an apothecary like Bjorn to distribute it as a healing thing. Frankie wanted to persuade it to be our friend and like use social things to make it like us so much that it benefits the community. The key thing we were going on was it purifies water wherever it goes. So my theory was then, okay, what if we could like either put it in our town well to fix the problem, or if it's like a sentient creature, then persuade it to like help purify the water would be like a more of a contractual thing. So we want to know more about it, but we decided to go talk to Bjorn first because we thought Bjorn might know more about the local area. He might know more about medicine than a dwarven warrior and a ogre berserker and elven class.
So because we're running low on time, I'm gonna expedite. You guys went to look for Bjorn, and you guys headed followed his tracks north. Wilfer being pretty well at survival and tracking, he was able to find Bjorn's tracks headed north. You guys encountered the Muddy River for the first time. Adarag has fun memories of this. Now you guys have fun memories of this.
It's the easiest shit ever. I just like walked right through.
Adarag knows. Adarag knows.
Notice much. So I was able to walk out and just like interview some people and talk, and I got some nice crunchy treats.
So fact, Grunkle's really big, and he just plowed through the river.
I also just walked right over it.
Well, they also now had the mud boots, right?
No, they forgot that they had mud boots. They never put them on.
Yeah, Grunkle goes raw.
Yeah, so Grunkle plowed through the river. The other two got stuck, slowed, and then I think Wilfer jumped in Grunkle's bag, in his barrel, and got carried across the river. And Torveka got stuck about halfway, threw a fit, sat down, looked at his backpack, saw the shoes, and was like, "Oh shit, we have mud boots!" So he put on his mud boots, got right up on top of the river, and walked across. And I was like, "Yep, this is why they invented them, because they also crossed this mud river." It
was one of my first critical successes, also. So
you just plowed right through this.
Kind of plow on through, like walking.
It was a great moment. So you guys headed north. You guys got past the mud river. You guys headed north. You came across a scene. I want you guys to describe that if you remember.
Yes. There was like a riverbank where there was a net. The net was ripped open as if something had burst out of it, but had been nailed down with hiking like pythons, I think is the word. Little large nail things. So as if somebody captured like one of those wood blights is my guess, and then tried to net it down and rip through. There were 2 flowers, the purple flowers that Grunkle once was enamored with, and they both had burst, but one of them was further away. We didn't investigate either of them, but I took note of that. There's a scuffling in the sand. And from your face, I'm gathering that you guys tried to capture one of these blight creatures. It gave you guys a bit of a scuffle.
Does this sound familiar?
Ragdolls, and then another one burst out.
We successfully captured one of those blight creatures.
Again, more information that was just never relayed. Adarag, does this sound familiar at all?
This sounds very familiar.
Do you... I don't know if I should share this, but do you remember what else happened at that moment? Or was it
me or Adarag?
Adarag. Was it at that same spot? Now I'm struggling. Where someone's foot got injured.
We didn't see any blood, so I don't think so.
Boot was damaged, I believe.
Yeah.
Was that at that same spot? I can't remember.
I don't think... No, it wasn't. It was further down. That was when we met up with the beast for the first time.
Yeah. So they also encountered something. They started feeling shivers up their spine as they were hooting and hollering around in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah,
that's something we experienced. Well, oh my gosh, do you know what what does it mean?
So we successfully did actually capture that. We knocked it out after netting it and having a tussle with it, and then.
Twig blight?
And then immediately just left it.
just left it sitting there.
What is it
that
though?
We had dealt with it. It was It was a twig blight.
Okay, so I was correct thinking that was the thing that would rip through a net pretty easy.
Yeah. So It was a twig blight, and that was the first purple flower that burst in front of us after, I believe, Gnimwirt threw a rock at it.
Yep, Gnimwirt threw a rock at the flower.
Yeah. Now, the second one was the one that we saved Isabella from. Second purple flower.
Another event we just walked away from. Yeah. So when they were heading north, they saw a little girl named Isabella, or Izzy, who is Jonathan's daughter. Some of you met Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I call him Joe Nathan.
Oh, no, you don't. Jonathan is the watchman who was hanging out with Hunt Captain Kyler.
Mm-hmm. I was more
when you guys met focused Hunt on Captain Kyler and they headed south and you guys headed east. Jonathan was with him. No? Alright.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jonathan's daughter, Isabella, they met her at the river crossing and she taught them how to cross the river. Mm-hmm. They headed north up into the swamp area and they see Isabella.
Captured by blights. And the blights were in the process of putting Isabella into one of those purple flowers. Seeing, like, we were hearing this going on, and then after that took place, we quickly ran down to the flower, and Adarag used his stiletto to cut open the flower and pull Isabella out from inside of it. But at which point, the shivers made us realize that there was a giant monster spitting acid at us. And that's when we ran off, tried to run away. A boot was damaged in the process from an acid spit. And then Dibs being the G that he is, just ran in there, distracted this monster, and ran off into the swamp to get it away from us.
Oh.
That was why we were so fond of our little friend Dibs.
And I think we brought this up before. He ran away, distracting this swamp dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time he was spotted, he was falling out of a tree into a barrel attached to an ogre. And it was around that time that you guys also stumbled across a swamp dragon not too long after that, because the swamp dragon was led from the north over to the east, where you guys were.
Mm-hmm.
Sound right?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're putting down now. I see your chess pieces.
So that all happened. Anyways, that was the spot where that all happened. So you guys came across that spot. And then to wrap this up, you guys headed north and you came across something that Adarag's also come across. You guys came across a stump. And Adarag, you found this stump. What do you remember? We don't have time to go over all this, so I'm just gonna. When you were heading north, you guys just headed north. When you were heading south, there was something new. The stump wasn't there before.
Yep.
What the fuck?
So there's like a glade with the stump, right? And
some ruins are around there. Yeah.
This group headed north, found this stump. You guys have seen this stump before in the east.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen
So I was correct.
Yeah, I've never seen this stump before.
Never seen a stump in my life.
There's a stump with a very peculiar axe cleave right into the middle of it.
Yeah. And I clarified with the directions. I wanted to make sure that it was in the right direction. Like, this should have been somewhere else. It's moved. Mists are around us. That we're in a growth. And if I can add, 2 people were farming and planting a garden. I thought maybe that might be a connection to how you purify an area.
So you guys walked up to this stump. It has a symbol and a backward symbol and an axe cleave going right through the middle of them. And you guys are like, are there just a bunch of these all around? Except they're like, no, this is new. And you guys are like, so there's a bunch of them and you guys just found this one. But now Adarag's saying, he walked by there, it wasn't there. He walked back, it's there. So hopefully that helps clarify some stuff.
So my goddess friend is still around.
So then, you guys stumble into this glade, and you hear, you're not the 2 we were expecting. Who did you stumble into?
And Granny Evelyn.
What's his face and what's her face?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bjorn and Granny Evelyn were there. We were there for Bjorn, and Grunkle tried to help him garden.
So this goes back to I don't know what quest you guys are doing, because they're on that quest, and now you're there. You're supposed to be on a different quest. So they're summoned to, their next thing is they're supposed to go find Granny Evelyn and Bjorn.
And that's what we ended the episode
and
on.
You guys are standing there with them. So I don't know if next episode is y'all together, or like you guys go one direction and they go up to them. I don't know how you guys just awkwardly pass each other on the northern road. Yeah,
hello there, fellow
Grunkle will give a... Yeah, I think you could play a mean Grunkle and like, because Grunkle would greet them with a hug and a kiss, right? Yeah,
I don't want you guys to. I don't want to play your character.
But you could do a good Grunkle, right?
Doubt it. Maybe. Grunkle's funny. I might be able to pull off funny Grunkle. Not Grunkle.
Yeah, you might be able to pull a funny Grunkle, and I would give you authority there if it was funny.
My favorite is of Grunkle's multiple personalities is Drunkle. He's my favorite.
Drunkle. Do you think you might be able to pull out a? Do you think you might be able to pull off a Torvekik?
I can't pull off a Torvekik. What's funny is like I was at one point where I tried to. I think it was during an outro. I tried to like do an outro and I was like, and Torvekik, and I tried to do your accent and I totally butchered it and I just shut up and I was like, I'm hopefully no one heard that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
No one heard that.
I was like, no one heard that. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I butchered it. It was not good. So no, I know I couldn't pull a Torvekik at all.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's caught up to the current session and some of the lore and mysteries going on behind the scenes of stuff. Chat did have one question for you guys, and it's actually from Trison. He wants to know, what characters from fiction or non-fiction would you say your characters are most like?
Oh, good lord. What's that dude from like the Atlantis movie that really liked the explosives?
Oh,
yeah.
The crazy little miner dude who, yeah.
No. It's a different movie.
Oh, I'm thinking of the.
You're not talking about
one?
the Disney Atlantis movie with Michael J. Fox as the guy going to Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
It's the tall, skinny dude that always had a toothpick.
Oh yeah,
that guy. Yes, I was thinking of the wrong guy. Same movie, wrong guy.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That guy.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Huh. Okay. I don't recall his name from Atlantis, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, that would be that. I could see that. I wouldn't have gone there, but now that you did, I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Well, it really hadn't come out because he's around people that he's not entirely comfortable with, but it's.
But I kind of get the like, I don't give a fuck kind of. I'm just here to blow shit up.
I'm just here.
I'm here to blow shit up, man. That's what I do. I can see it.
It's the blasé approach to violence and destruction. And it's kind of like, yeah. Okay.
Adarag,
I'm down for that.
I make go boom.
That's exactly.
I make stuff go boom.
Yeah. Grunkle's a hard one because I can't really think offhand. I know that I've drawn this trope from somewhere, but the idea of a monster that is supposed to be bad that becomes a hero, that has to be very...
guys! I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
The Goonies?
The Goonies.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I was like, even I know this reference.
I
don't think that's
Goonies fan.
To be honest, that's probably the only reference I remember from the Goonies. But I don't think
Chunk
that encompasses.
or Chunk was the character.
Yeah.
But like I want to take it a step further. Is like it's not just like, oh, it's a monster that's starting to help the party. It's a legitimate party character. Like the hero is something that should be bad. It's a necromancer that wants to help people be alive, or like I guess the ogre berserker that's like, I want to actually help people rather than hurt people. I'd like to avoid violence even though I'm good at it. Hypothetically, is the character concept, and that's one where I know I've seen it somewhere, but I am really struggling to like.
Yeah, I would struggle with that one too. Like to actually place Grunkle as a fictional or non-fictional character that would really be like akin.
Or just like break it down. It doesn't even have to be an ogre berserker. Just a character in media that's like, I am legitimately a bad guy, but this time around, I'm one of the main like members of the group trying to push forward for success and good and
Deadpool.
Order and uphold society.
Grunkle is Deadpool. Confirmed. Deadpool is an anti-villain or anti-hero. He's technically a villain, but he's a hero.
I would love regeneration, actually.
You'd love for what?
Regeneration?
Oh, yeah.
Because doesn't he have like he heals really quickly?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna also mention the necromancer from Diablo 2, I guess, is an anti-hero that's made into a main character.
I played that game. Don't really remember it. Chat's coming up with new personas for Grunkle. You can do Stunkle when he hasn't bathed.
Yeah, no, we avoid Stunkle. And
he actually just bathed in the last episode.
We shut that down.
We shut it down.
We shut that one down.
There is no Stunkle. You call me Grunkle with a G.
Oh, here
unless I slam dunk a basketball, then you call me Dunkle.
Dunkle. Vinny Santorini is the character from Atlantis.
Ah, okay. Cool.
That sounds right. Vinny sounds right.
That's a memorable name.
Necromancer is the best Diablo class. I actually thought about that as a character one time. Like, if the group doesn't have a healer, you just play as a necromancer, and it's like, I can heal you, you just have to die first, and then I'll heal you. I swear I'll heal you. You just have to die.
You just have to be dead.
I didn't lose my medical license for nothing.
Yeah, like if I played as a healer in a group, like I would totally try and do it as a necromancer, because I think that'd be really cool. Like, you know, heal me! I will in a second. Just give me a minute.
You just kind of drop dead first.
Okay, now I got you.
What could be kind of interesting with a necromancer healer is like they don't heal you quite as well as a good healer. Like it becomes scar tissue instead. So anybody they work with long term, they are heavily scarred. Like with that scar tissue of improper healing.
Just different spots.
I think could be really interesting.
Or I kind of like the idea of they're actually a necromancer, but they think that they're like a cleric or something who's just performing miracles.
Yeah,
exactly. Or you know, the group doesn't know, and they have to like hide it, and then every time you bring them back from the dead, you're just like, wow, that was a close one. Like you almost
really
died.
you were almost dead, man.
But like, I swore I saw the light. No, it was just really close.
You're just super close. Just don't worry about it.
I thought that would be a really fun healer to play, but Adarag.
So I'm trying to think of like,
oh, sorry.
It's kind of like a Samwise Gamgee character on the face of him, but there's another side to him that I don't think has really come out much, or at least I've not really had to bring out much. That's a bit darker, more cruel sort of individual that I'm trying to think of a good comparison to like sort of like a Two-Face, not really like Two-Face like Batman Two-Face, but like the Two-Face personality sort of thing, that on the face of it he's like a Samwise Gamgee sort of like, oh, of course, sir, I'll help you out with that, sir, and all that sort of stuff. But then
Sam, and then Sam if he actually got the ring.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who came up with this, and it might have been Johnny Speed. I'm not sure if he's still here. I think it was Johnny Speed who came up, and this hasn't come up with you guys yet, but you're playing a halfling. We came up with a halfling group. Basically, the halflings are known for their halfling fleet. They have a pirate fleet that is very infamous in the south. They dwell along the shipping lanes and are good at what they do. And I feel like it was Johnny Speed. I'd have to try and find it, but they came up with a special forces type deal for the halflings, and it was something about like firebombing them from the ships, like launching them or something. I can't remember, but it was fucking hilarious. And they called them, there was a funny name for it too, like lollipops or something that, you know, that would just, it was, God, I wish I knew. I'll find it, and it'll be canon.
Lollipop Guild?
Yeah, like lollipop or something. I can't remember what it was. There was something about like, I don't know if they were on fire or they were just like launched from like catapults from one ship onto their ship or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. God,
like a flaming berserker of sorts.
Yeah, I can't place it now. I wish,
respect.
I think it was Johnny who came up with it. I'll have to see if I can find it in my notes somewhere. But anyways, it was funny. But all right, so we're all caught up. That's under the table. You guys are caught up and have some idea of what to do going forward. I'm really curious how I'm going to proceed going forward, because I've got one group that's not where they're supposed to be, and one group that's also not where they're supposed to be, and to get to where they need to be, they have to cross each other, and I have to figure out how to do that without you guys crossing each other.
They have to literally trade places.
Well, the problem is like, you guys went to where they need to be, and you haven't left. So their group's up next. Do I have them go there? Are you guys still there? Or do you just vanish? Like, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that one exactly yet. And I'm guessing, well, based off what ToughNet said, he's literally only available on Tuesdays. So I'm guessing he can't do a crossover episode on Sunday.
It looks like you built a drill with the supplies we gave you and dug yourself a hole.
Facts. What? I didn't tell you guys to go up there. I told you to get on a boat and go on your quest, and you guys were like, "Nah, we're gonna do literally every other thing." I was like,
You gonna have Frankie and Hopkins like try to catch us as we're going out of town? Like, hey guys, we need your help.
Yeah, like, okay, now Grunkle, yeah, we'll just switch quests. Yeah, Grunkle and Torvekik are doing your quest, and then you're gonna go do their quest. I don't know, maybe.
And I'm guessing you've already put in a lot of time, so it's going to be a battle-heavy quest on the one hand, and a thought-provoking quest on the other.
I build quests specifically for your group because I give them, hey, here's some detective quests, and they're like, well, we got none of that. And then I give your group something like you guys battled the Blight, and you're like, yeah, we're not good at battle. So then I reverse it, and you guys are like, yeah, let's just switch quests this time. And I'm like, that's not helping me.
Stop it.
You guys are going to think I'm a terrible DM because you're like, man, you just keep giving us detective quests. We keep asking you to fight. I tried.
I tried, but you went the opposite direction.
I gave you. I was like, let's go hunt a sea beast, a sea monster. Grunkle, you get to fight a sea monster. I want to go.
Your
Your
detective work intrigued me.
I'm going to go guard this.
And I did mean to say, if I haven't already, that like when I got those hooks, I was like, okay, yeah, this is something I could sink my teeth into. Maybe literally, maybe not. No, that's not literally. Metaphorically, sink my teeth into. Like I was like, oh yeah, hot lead. Let's go talk to him.
Yeah. The only thing I'll end on is one quick note. You guys approached the Torvekik, Grunkle, and Wilfer, got into the glade. You guys approached the altar, the stump. Made a prayer to the gods once again.
Oh yeah, I did.
Noting the gods and letting them know exactly who you are and where you are. Well, is that significant? I don't know. And then
it felt significant to me that we both prayed, and Grunkle did a succinct prayer, and Torvekik did a begging prayer.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys turned, and I
wouldn't
think
say begging.
Well, it was longer than my quick prayer of help.
You guys turned, and I think you talked to, I think it was Grunkle talked to Bjorn, and you were like, "Hey, by the way, Grunkle's a monster," and he asked you, was it silent or something? And you guys were like, yeah. He goes, oh, so you met Atlas. And Grunkle went, oh, shit, flashback. Someone told us something about that. We told him to shut up. And that's where we ended
Yeah,
the
I did do a flashback.
Yeah.
Grunkle got like 2 flashbacks during the episode. It is so much fun.
Grunkle goes, oh, flashback. Dibs say, hey, have you heard of my father, Atlas? And I was like, yeah. And then everyone said, shut the fuck up, Dibs. We don't want to talk to you. Yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
Grunkle's like an idiot version of Jimmy Neutron. He's like, oh, brain blast.
Brain fart.
Yeah, it's just brain fart for him. It's like, oh, I'm building up to something.
So that takes us back to the note.
These are connected?
The thing that we paused on earlier. Whose boat did you say that you scavenged?
No, I heard.
Okay.
Atlas.
Checking.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the Atlas is a dragon flying above us. I've connected so many dots under the table.
I was waiting for that. I'm sorry. You said something and Adarag's face was out. Oh, that was priceless. He doesn't know about that either.
Yeah, no, I realize how fucked up things are, and who we're building up a fight to where the only person
They fly now.
Oh yeah, it's flying over our head. And I know you said we're gonna end it on that note, but let's just end it perhaps on Wilfer saved our party when we felt this terrible feeling by using his magical powers to summon a small dove with a foxtail up, and it flew into the trees above us, and then that big thing swooped overhead, ate the dove, and flew off. So we gave an offering of magic point.
So basically, they were moving along. They got real quiet because it hunts using sound. Because someone learned that it's blind. And right, Adarag, you guys learned some stuff about this creature. And so it hunts using sound. They were being super loud. They felt it coming. They got real quiet. It flew over them. They noticed driplets dropping on them. And they went to move on quietly. Wilfer got the idea. He whispered some magic, pulled a dove, a mutated dove out of his pocket, let it go. It flew off into the trees. They heard nothing, but all of a sudden, a shadow passed by and just a puff of dove feathers fell to the ground. And what that did was lead the creature. He flew it off, so it flew like 100, 200 feet away from them. It led the creature that way, and it got it away from them, so they were able to move off. It was actually pretty creative. I liked it.
That was a very, very smart move. That Grunkle couldn't do with his own spear.
He could be. I guess he would have lost.
Torvekik was kind of just there.
You guys were just like, "Hey, go forward." Grunkle was like, "No, go back."
Two fighters don't have a lot of tools that they can't like dispose of.
Apparently,
I was gonna say you could throw a rock, but
oh
yes, let me make more noise to go hunting for a rock.
No, that's actually a really smart idea. I'm assuming there would be rocks available. Since Grunkle has an emoticon in the chat in Rat's Discord where you can go and do Grunkle corn. It's rocks.
Speaking of emoticons, where the hell is Torvekik's emoticon?
I
Come
know.
On. Should we wrap things up here?
I know. Yeah. Let's. Oh yeah. Time. I gotta go. Yeah. All the emotes that I haven't done. Yes, there is one other aspect that hasn't been addressed, and it's the fact that someone hired unknown man named Jonathan that apparently no one knows anymore to go out and set up all the noisemakers around the swamp.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, so that did happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we give him all the clams, shells, and
So you went with Grunkle's idea, but decided to scrap Torvekik's. All right.
We didn't scrap it. We're modifying it. Yeah. If we already
Grunkle has a decent fellowship. Like Grunkle's, I didn't put fellowship as a dump stat. It's a 45, which isn't great, but still. When I get Guile next round of experience, that's gonna be 55% chance of Grunkle manipulating your emotions.
It's true. Grunkle will learn how to lie and manipulate people.
No. Grunkle not lie. Grunkle just make you side with him.
So Torvekik may be
dishonestly coerce you.
Yeah.
Torvekik may be disappointed.
Maybe slightly disappointed that he doesn't get to take a big hole, but he will be okay with a pre-built hole as long as he gets help building the damn wall,
which we can do.
With a pulley system.
With the pulley system. Hey!
Honestly, that's so cool. That's entirely why Grunkle came to this town, is finding mysterious dungeons built into the ground underneath the swamp. Like that's one of his big motivators.
This is true. This is like the entire reason you did.
If he finds out about that, he'll use his giant hands and just
treasure. We finally found it 22 episodes later.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much for watching Under the Table. This has been the post-game talk show discussing King's Crossing, featuring Fred as Torvekik, Adis as Adarag, and Mr. Pickles as Grunkle. Wave.
Oh, this is me audibly waving. Oh, Grunkle.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out the entire series on YouTube. It's all under my King's Crossing playlist. All episodes will be dropped by the time YouTube sees this, for all of you watching. Episode 22 drops on February 4th. Episode 23 drops on February 7th. Should be 2 episodes a week, as long as we don't miss recording stuff. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you in the next video. Later.
Cheers. Adios.
I love you.